Today's video, we're going to talk about Google Ads algorithm explained, how to tease out profits and avoid being a sucker as it comes to your treatment that Google Ads and their system how they treat you in terms of the cost per click, how many clicks you're getting, how often you're shown, how high up in the list you're shown, and effectively how much money you're going to make, as well as, by the way, and as it going into that, the quality of the traffic you get, whether you get the good traffic or the bad traffic, which, by the way, nobody talks about, and of which will literally make or break a campaign. Google, for the most part, knows whether a person's going to convert or not before they even get to your website or even search based upon that user's previous behavior, who they are, their traits, their habits, their tendencies. And so if you want to have that person that's most likely to convert and that they know is most likely to convert to see your ad and then therefore have a chance to click on your ad versus somebody else, you need to get on Google's good side in terms of their algorithm that decides all of this for your business. So with that said, I'm going to talk about setting up your Google Ads the hard way and the slow way. What are all the benefits you're going to get out of doing that in terms of how the algorithm actually treats you, as well as the lazy way and cheap, easy way, what you're going to do, what you're going to get out of the algorithm and how the algorithm treats you doing things that way. So there's obviously lots and lots of benefits that you're going to get doing things the time-consuming way, as I mentioned already on this video. But I'm going to go into specifics on each one of these things so you understand just how much results you're going to be leaving on the table if you don't go ahead and do things the hard, time-consuming way. So with all that said, I'll get into the content. Now, obviously, as we know, on the top of Google, there's 4 ads. There's only 4 spots to run ads. And if you didn't or weren't aware of it already, on Google Ads, there's generally going to be 8, 9, 10 people cycling in and out of those top 4 spots in competitive markets. Whether you're shown at all, shown high up in the list, shown lower in the list, that all comes down to Google's algorithm's view on you as an advertiser, who you are. To break it down, there's 2 things that they're always looking for more than anything else. You can cut all the bullshit out of, trying to figure out what the algorithm wants when you figure out that they want high click-through rates, they want high conversion rates. You don't need to know anything else. And then at least as compared to the people that are normally shown in these top 4 ad spots. You can get a higher click-through rate and higher conversion rate than them. The algorithm is going to prefer showing you more, the most, give you the highest quality visitors, and so on and so forth. And what they're doing is they're constantly, as they've shown with these arrows, or tried to show, they're constantly split testing you versus the other people that are trying to advertise there to find out who has the highest click-through rates and the highest conversion rates, because they want to promote them the most, and they want to do everything they can to encourage the people that do the best in terms of click-through rates and conversion rates to stick around. Every benefit they can give you, if you're having higher click-through rates and higher conversion rates than the people that are also trying to advertise for your keywords, they're going to give you to encourage you to stick around, and vice versa, make it unappealing for you to stick around if you're in the bottom of the list in terms of those 2 main metrics there. So, and then with that, there's something called what I call the sucker factor. 9 out of 10 people who advertise on Google Ads are going to be in it for 90 days and they're going to quit. You should know that's the case because there's, in a lot of niche markets, there's 50, 100 companies do what you do. There's only 4 people that can be here at the top of Google for your keywords. Who can afford to be there is the people who make it through Google's filter on the other side and become their favorite, and the people who are in the graveyard of people who never could actually do that. Because everybody knows what Google Ads is in your market. Everybody's probably tried it once. Most people never get it to pay off because they didn't do things the hard way, set up their ads so that it appeals to their users, so that Google wants to give you more business versus the other people that are already there that were their favorite in the past. Google naturally wants to make the most money. How do they make the most money? They make the most money by understanding how to get users to click on ads in the future. They get users to click on ads in the future by giving users the best experience possible with the ads that are there. If you click on an ad and get a crappy website, didn't get what you want, you're less likely to click on an ad in the future, and vice versa if you did. Same thing with the ads themselves. If the ads are relevant, you're going to be naturally inclined to look there first next time. And so that's why they want to be able to do everything they can to encourage people, A, to try harder, to get higher click-through rates and higher conversion rates, because it'll help their users want to click on ads in the future. And then naturally, they want to do everything they can to get you to try harder. And then the people that are number one in those two metrics to stay around so that they don't go anywhere furthermore. So, and so with all that said, they're going to treat you like a sucker that's probably not going to stick around. And if there is bad traffic, in terms of a keyword, because if you bid on red shoes, Google sees it as there's 1,000 different people who search for that keyword red shoes. The portion that they know on a regular basis that search for red shoes that don't convert, they want to send it to the people that are probably going to be there 90 days and they're out. And because 90% of people are in and out like that, they treat every person coming to the table that's new as a sucker, as I call it. That is somebody who's going to take on all this crappy traffic they can't and they don't want to sell to the guy. They actually want to stay around. And if you're going to get to where you're going to be getting the good traffic, you actually have to go through this sucker phase that everybody goes through no matter what. Show them that you can get better metrics than the leading competition in terms of click-through rate and conversion rate. And if you do, they're going to pour on every benefit they can to you on the other side of that. Okay? Usually that means if you're talking about a new account, a few thousand clicks where they know inside and out that you're the number one player in the market now, take away the benefits from the number one player that was there, give them all to you. And so really, it's just not a matter of if you will make money, it's when you have the foundation set up right, better ads, better landing pages than the competition, because their algorithm is just naturally going to pour it on once they eventually figure it out. And with that, you got to invest some money up front for them to figure it out. So, because it's very hard to make money during that sucker phase where you're going to get treated like 90% of the people that are in and out normally, that they don't care that they're giving you very good value on the traffic you're buying because they think you're not going to be around anyway, and they think you probably haven't tried very hard to begin with to deserve that good traffic. So with all that background, if you're going to do things the lazy way, that is the average person that comes to Google Ads that says, "Ooh, wow, I'm going to try Google Ads. This looks awesome." Not thinking, about the other 50 people who tried and why they're not advertising there. They did, and they couldn't make it work because they didn't. They also tried very little to get their ads to work. And when I say little bit, I'm talking about they spent 15 minutes setting up an ad, and they thought they were going to become a billionaire after figuring that out. I figured out how to set up an ad in Google Ads. Now I'm going to be a billionaire. Okay. They did that. That's the average person coming to Google Ads. They're going to spend 1 hour or 15 minutes, whatever, on a campaign setup. They're going to get the shittiest traffic possible that Google can possibly send for their keywords. Again, because Google is going to subsegment the people that are searching for a keyword and give the crappiest traffic to the new guy automatically. You're going to start out as literal scum in Google's algorithm's eyes, and you're going to stay as scum because you're not going to beat the current incumbents that are getting the best metrics because they invested more than 15 minutes or an hour in their campaign, more likely. And the more money that's at stake in your market, and that's available by winning Google Ads, the more it's actually going to take to beat these people. If you're in a market like personal injury law, the guys that are there at the top of Google in like LA, most of them are going to have spent millions of dollars in learning and testing and management fees to get where they're going to win. You with your, $50 in your wallet and a credit card coming to Google, you don't stand a chance And anybody can, don't get me wrong, can still make it work, but you have to plan on your ads not working very well for a while at the beginning, invest some money into it, and have figured out a way to beat those people in terms of click-through rate and conversion rate on the ads and landing pages you have, which, by the way, anybody can do that as well. You can watch this channel to see what it takes. I come up with the strategies that will beat competition every time. It's not as hard as you think, but you do have to put that work in, and you do have to generally also, hire some people to help you out. It's not just going to be an hour and an hour of your time and that's it by any means. If you do things the lazy way, you're going to have super high cost per clicks, way higher than what the people that are there at the top of Google now are paying. So if you wonder why they can afford to be there, that's partially why. And you're never actually going to get anywhere. You're going to stay unprofitable forever, okay? Because naturally, Google wants to price you out of the system. They literally want to make it so shitty for you that you just go away on your own. They don't actually ever boot you out officially. They just try to make it so unprofitable that you won't stay around. And if you're dumb enough to stay around and buy their shitty traffic for sky-high prices, hey, all the benefit to them because nobody wants that traffic anyway, and they can charge you shitloads more than anybody else is willing to pay for it. And if you're still dumb enough to take that traffic, they'll gladly sell it to you. But most people, they know, aren't going to be buying it very long, and that's intentional. They want you to go somewhere else. So they want somebody that can actually help their users more than the people they already got buying these clicks, because you got to see it from their perspective. Somebody's going to want these customers. What benefit do you have when somebody else is, you're already selling all this ad space? If somebody else is going to come in and say they want this ad space, you're certainly not going to sell it to them unless you can do better for your users than the people that are already buying the ads, that will buy the ads, who's consistently buying them. Their credit cards are not going to get charged back, so on and so forth. So with that said, now the hard way, that's the slow way, you want to call it the hard way, the slow way, whatever. If you go that angle with it, you're going to do literally anything it takes to beat your competition, no matter if it kills you. As if the government was going to come behead you if you did not figure out how to make your ads and your landing pages better than your competition. If you do that, which that's going to take, generally speaking, more than 100 hours of just setup work. Before you run a single ad or spend a single dollar on ads. On your ads, your landing pages, keyword research, doing, hopefully, single keyword ad groups, creating not just one landing page, but 50 different landing pages so you can cater, depending on what people are searching for, a very catered landing page for each user that clicks on your ads. You're going to get the results you're looking for because I know what people are willing to do and not willing to do with their Google ads and what the consumer normally wants. And therefore, I can tell you that if you do those things, you'll beat people 99% of the time, regardless of the market, if you just do those things because the competition's not willing to do it. I've audited probably 1,000 different Google Ads accounts in the last 10 years or worked on them. I know what people are willing to do. And that 1,000's not an exaggeration, literally speaking. So if you wanted to, and the information's free on this channel. If you want to know how to set up single keyword ad groups that'll beat everybody every time, how to set up landing pages that'll beat everybody every time, it's on this channel for you to consume. If you do things the hard way, because I know how people are. They get so damn excited about running Google ads and the prospect of becoming rich running these Google ads for their business, or they're desperate. They wait, the average person's going to wait until the last damn second to do Google ads and get customers from it, when they're already so gasping for air because they have no business coming in, no calls, no customers coming in at the given time. And then they start this at the last second like it was going to be that easy. And if it were that easy, their competition 10 years ago would have done it already. So they just want to hurry up and do it because they just want to see it work. And then that's why 90% of people never get it to work, and they're just going to be relegated to failure no matter what. Therefore, people are inclined, not they were inclined not to do it anyway because they don't want to spend very much on their stuff before they see it works. They don't want to work very hard in general. They don't want to spend much in general to set up their ads. And they also want to be able to see it work quickly because they're excited. They want to see it set up and see it working. They're not going to want to spend that 100 hours of work before they run the ads for all those reasons. But if you're not that impatient person, you can actually get it to work. And then while you're still going to be a sucker up front to the algorithm, you're going to earn the algorithm's respect because you did that 100 hours of work. You didn't spend 1 hour setting up your campaigns initially. And after 1,000 clicks, you're going to pay 80% less per click than you started out with, and that the average sucker pays. Your conversion rates are going to increase 3 to 5 times what they are when you start out because you're getting the good quality traffic that Google would like to send to the person that's helping their users out the most to encourage them to stay around. And that if you're going to send the good quality traffic to anybody, you're going to send it to the person you want to stay around. That only makes sense. Your impression share or the rate or the number of times you're going to show up out of 100 for your keywords in the ad spots is going to go up, and it's going to be 100% impression share. Which you could get 100% impression share on your ads, by the way, if you start out while you're still in sucker mode with the algorithm, if you bid high enough per click. But the reality is you're going to bid so high per click to get that you're probably not going to want to do it. But you could pay rock bottom cost per click and still get shown 100% of the time for your keywords, or damn near it, by doing things the hard way initially and then building up the data, a few thousand clicks for the algorithm to see you did a really, really, really good job with your ad setup. And then your impressions themselves are going to go up about 20x from the first week that you run your ads. Literally 20x. So if you can expect if you got 50 impressions the first week from your ads, once you've had enough time to scale up your ads, Google's algorithm sees you've done a good job. Instead of 50, you'll get 1,000 impressions a week. And that certainly could take 12 to 24 months before the algorithm sees it and you were able to accumulate 5 to 10,000 clicks on that campaign, depending if you're on a local service market. So you can have literally 20 times more impressions from your ads once you've given that 5 or 10,000 clicks that you need on your campaigns for Google to see and their algorithm to see all the way through that your ads are actually good. They're better than the competition. Why 5, 10,000 clicks, by the way? It's because when you're talking about machine learning and statistical algorithms or algorithms that are run on statistical models, you need statistical significance in your data to make accurate decisions. The algorithm's not going to be making decisions willy-nilly. It's going to need to know with a certain level of minimum confidence level that certain things are accurate before it's going to move and switch around and change the ads. Before they change around their ads. They want their ad space to be very consistent, for one, for users, because they kept switching things around willy-nilly. That's not going to optimize for them for the most revenue. Their approach to make the most revenue, which should make sense, is to slowly test things out. And when they look good, they slowly test them a bit more, so that there's not poor performing ads running any more than they need to, while still having an opportunity to find new guys that are coming in that actually can do better. So their goal is to always test new guys, but very, very minimally, until they prove that they have some positive data coming out of their ads, and then they're going to run them a little bit more, and that's why it takes 5 to 10,000 clicks before you're fully going to see all these benefits at the end of the day happen for your business. So if you're wondering, why, Corey, you're full of shit, I don't see all this happening, give it the time it needs. And then furthermore, if it's still, after 5 or 10,000 clicks, you don't start to make decent real money, then you didn't set up your foundation right. Your click-through rates aren't as good as your competition. And you want to be in the top 20 percentile in terms of your competition, in terms of click-through rates and conversion rates, if you want all this to happen. So, and then you're going to have to wait that 5, 10,000 clicks at the same time. But if you wait, you put the time in, the money is fantastic. You'll go on to make millions of dollars from your ads once this is set up. So it's obviously worth it for you to do. You just got to put the time in, the money in, and if it were easy, everybody would do it, like anything else in life. So there you can see the hard way and the slow way, what the downsides are. If you put all that time in, what you're actually going to get on the other side for doing it. It's always going to be worth it. It just takes some time and the money to put in up front to get the payoff, which is what naturally nobody wants to do. You got to be able to put the investment up front to get the return on the back end. Most people, when it comes to marketing, want to invest a little bit to see it work first, and then they're willing to invest. But that's like saying you're going to put gas in your car after it's already moving. It's not. You just end up not getting anywhere. Yes, nobody wants to make big bets, invest a lot of money into something they don't know that's going to work, because if you do that too many times, you can also go broke. But what I'm telling you here is a sure bet. You're always going to make this work. There's no situation where if your ads are better than the competition, and there's clearly more people fighting over the ad space where your ad's running more efficient than anybody else's, is not going to be profitable for you. So there's no excuse not to do this. The only question is, you having to know that the stuff you're investing to is actually going to put you in the top 20 percentile. And if you're wondering about that, contact me and I'll tell you what you're doing, if it is or it isn't. You don't have to hire me or my firm to help you do it. I'll tell you if it's good enough. Just simply email me. I'll tell you if what you have is good enough to be in that top 20 percentile or not. And really, top 20 percentile is really a low goal. For me, if you want to really take advantage, you want to be at least twice as good as the top person currently advertising in your space, because that's where the real money is at, not the top 20%. You'll make a good profit if you're in the top 20%. Just that. You'll make a huge pile of money if you're 2 times higher than anybody else, because going back to the algorithm and what it favors, if it's clearly going to get more every single time it shows your ad for their users, it's going to do every possible, pull out every stop it can for you. And that's just how the system's set up. So with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. If you have any questions about anything I covered here, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any ad related question you'd like, and I'll use my 15 years of ad experience to try to help you out do what you're doing and put you on the right track with what you're doing. As a side, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already and you are looking for the best information to help you make millions of dollars running ads for your business on Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the other ad networks, you want to subscribe, as the information that I'm sharing with you on this channel is coming straight from the source on somebody who does ad testing 40 hours a week and develops the strategy for dozens of different ad accounts that I'm personally in charge of running strategy on. The information is coming straight from the source, not from a YouTuber who makes money off of YouTube, who doesn't really run ads, or somebody selling courses. They're not really running ads either, or they run some sort of ad agency, but they don't get their hands dirty. This is information coming straight from the source. So therefore, if you're going to pay attention to anything, this is the information, the most relevant information that will get you the results that you want, and therefore you want to subscribe. You can also find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where you can find actual step-by-step information on how to make money from your ads there, with given actual tutorials on specific strategies that work, where you could follow the screenshots and the steps and everything that I have laid out for you to be able to make money and bolt on certain strategies on top of what you're doing with your ads already. So if you like the channel, you're going to like my blog even more. As mentioned, I run an advertising agency. Name of it's Guaranteed PPC. We offer something that nobody else offers, which is literal guaranteed results. That is, if we do not get you an increase in profit from your ads before you pay us to a certain level that we would promise you up front, there is no payment to our firm whatsoever. And actually, we don't get paid unless we lift your profit. Lifting the profit enough, we're going to bring you more profit than our fee is before there even is a fee. So you're basically paying us out of the additional profit your campaigns are going to get at the hand of working with us. The only catch is we don't work with just any company. We pick and choose who we want to work with. We got to know we can get great results for you up front before we go ahead and agree to work with you. But if you want to see if we can work together, and how much the results we could get for you, simply reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to give you an estimate on an 8-quarter basis, what we could get for your company, if we can get it, and how much at each stage. We provide that to all our prospective clients that reach out to us. As a side, if you want to also be able to make money from ads, not necessarily through hiring an ad agency like ours that'll just do it all for you and just provide you a report that says what your results are, you want to be doing your campaigns yourself. If we've worked in your niche market before, you should use the templates we developed for your market already. The ads and the landing pages, the campaign templates, all of it that works for your industry already. Why? Because it's going to be way cheaper and less time consuming to use that than to figure out all the same stuff we had to figure out operating in your niche market already. And many times we spent millions of dollars in ad spend to figure out what works the best in your niche market, and you could get it for a 4-figure fee and not have to do any of that stuff yourself. So with that, if you're interested in to see what results we've got in your niche market, and if we worked in your niche market, you can reach out to me. And of course, if you're just in a different geographic area than our client or past client, it's all fair game to be able to use those templates. There's nobody is being hurt, and only you will win in that situation. And it's fair game for us to be able to offer you what we figured out in a different area that serves a client in the market that you don't compete with directly. Which, by the way, we've got people that use these templates to start whole other businesses. If you want to start a business on training wheels, basically, use one of these templates that are proven to sell a product or service at a certain ROI up front, and you can get those results for yourself without having to invent anything, at least in terms of the marketing side. You can get access to the products, from Alibaba that our client sells, and they sell it in country A, and you want to operate in country B, you can get it. So anyway, if you're interested in any of those opportunities, you can also reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. But I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.